Fun fact, I don't know whether to love or hate this song. Hi, everybody. We've got a lot to do, and it's a special edition of this radio program. Not because Rico's wearing a fashion flannel, but because this is an on-the-record edition of this show. This edition of this show, is going to be the official statement about the following topic we make, so as our words cannot be misconstrued, that our words cannot be chopped and sliced or taken out of context by anyone, inside or outside of this building. We are going to be on the record today. I'm kidding. Everything's on the record. It doesn't matter.
I was about to say, do we need to be sworn in?
Yes, I want to swear everyone in because I want to have a conversation about this Alex Bregman situation. And I don't want anything to be left to confusion. Yesterday, I thought about caller Tim on my drive home. And I thought about how it doesn't matter how carefully I explain things. People only hear what they want to hear. And like yesterday, the report was out, guys, that the Tigers, not me, the Tigers wanted Alex Bregman, but he might be too expensive. And we did the topic, and I said, listen, let's just keep the main thing the main thing. Why do we have to keep hearing about finances with the Tigers? I said, if you don't like Bregman, that's fine. I'm not dying on this Bregman hill. More on that in a second.
Okay.
So the first caller, and by the way, that is a Regal shirt. Is that tobacco color? What would you call it? I mean, it's beautiful. It's a mocha, if you will.
Tan suede.
It's gorgeous. The point is, the first caller, not the second, not the third, not the fifth, the very first caller calls up and starts MFing me like I'm Alex Bregman's agent. I go, I just said to you, this is not my thing.
Right.
This is not me. I said the report did not say Guido Genius 971 says. So I want to talk about multiple things, but here's the offseason. On the record, if you want an A-plus offseason, the only way would be Bregman and Sasaki. If you want a B offseason, it's one of the two. The only scenario that this I can't speak for Rico in the mocha button-up, the only person on this show that would be pissed if they don't get either, if they don't do anything substantive, and it's just Alex Cobb, well, that's going to be me. But I thought it would be productive. Let's have a conversation of what you're actually getting if you sign Alex Bregman. Here are factual statements, and then some things I'm using data and evidence that I'm comfortable saying are strong opinions.
Okay.
Fair?
Okay.
So if you sign Alex Bregman, the third baseman from the Astros, you are getting a Gold Glove third baseman. Factual. You just signed Alex Cobb, who's a ground ball machine. He makes your team better. Play in, play out bases. Mm-hmm. Now, Bregman, I think, will be better in your lineup than the Astros last year. The Astros were horrific scoring runs and injured. I think Bregman would come here and be your two-hole hitter every day. Period. Pencil him right in. Perfect stagger between Riley or Parker and Riley, over to Carp. And you have a real nice top four. Gold Glove third baseman. You're getting a guy who's a leader. Ask anyone who's played with the guy. Ask A.J. Hinch. Alex Bregman is a leader. He's a World Series champion. He's been to how many ALCSs? Battle-tested. Mm-hmm. See, the playoffs separate the Matt Vierlings of the world from actual high-level ball players. Vierling goes 2 for 33. A guy like Bregman has shown out in the playoffs in several years. I think you're getting a guy who will come here automatically, Rico. If he just dropped in and was slightly better than what he did last year, he's your best hitter across the board. Day one. Mm-hmm. He would have led your team in home runs. Day one. He'd have the highest batting average on the team.
On and off year.
Day one. Now, why I don't use RBIs? Well, it's an antiquated stat, and a lot of it has to do with where you're in the lineup. Look, I just think you're going to get a guy who will come in here and be 750, 760, 770, and on an up year, an 800 OPS. No, I don't think he's returning to his breakout year 7 years ago of 41 and 115. No, but he'll be your best player. Veteran leader, Gold Glove defense, best hitter. Now, do you win the World Series if Alex Bregman's your best hitter? No. But I think this is the kind of move you make if you're a serious ball club.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not about Bregman putting you over the top. You see how careful I'm being? Remember this when I end up screaming at someone for not listening to any of this. I think you make this move as your next move, not the final move.
So you're saying, I was going to joke, but no, continue.
No, so basically, I would be very happy if they did this. I would salute Chris Ilitch and Scott Harris. I think it's a move you make to show your fans you're serious. The Sasaki thing, you don't get to control as much because everyone offers Sasaki basically the same. That's a sales pitch. You've got to recruit him to Detroit. Having Kenta Maeda can help you. He is highly respected in Japan. Maybe he recruits for you.
You know what? I look at him as you just threw your money in a 50-50 raffle.
And you hope it comes up that
right.
He doesn't know enough about Detroit's weather.
Right. That it's basically you're competing against 32 other teams. And let's hope you win.
And
let's
again,
hope you get it.
That's the only A-plus scenario. Now, again, I read something last night that they still like Walker Buehler. Buehler wants a multi-year deal with opt-outs after each year. That's a no-brainer to me. Buehler has Cy Young upside. Alex Cobb doesn't. Now, if you showed me Buehler and Bregman, we're back to the A territory. Mm-hmm. But I want to ask you guys a question. What do you want? They don't want to spend $200 million on Bregman. My question would be, why? When we really break this down, Rico, you're the professor. What's the real difference between 165 and 200 over 5 years on a per-year basis? It's not your money.
Well,
and $5 million, not 50, $5 million? It just doesn't compute to me.
No, it's basically an extra $10 million a year. That's not your money. And if that's the difference, because for me, I need something that keeps the momentum going. I don't want to see this team go backwards. Guess what? You didn't plan on this. Your process got expedited. The players were too young and stupid to realize they were supposed to be bad, and they were good.
Yeah.
You can't go back. You can't sell your fan base, well, we're just going to go back and give us another 3 years. No. You need to make something to take you from where you were last year and make that to make the end of last year a consistency. That's what I'm looking for. And yes, I know I'm lowering the bar because I'm not saying I need you to win the World Series. I'm being realistic.
I think you're okay because I can't demand a World Series.
Yeah.
They don't have the payroll for it.
But
not yet.
Another arm because the pitching chaos won't work.
And I don't think they have enough pitching right now. When
they
you
don't.
Really look at it. Because Job's not going to start the year with the team. And if you start talking about the Brent Herders of the world, and you start, guys, that's I want to put a true number 2 behind Skubal.
Mm-hmm. Well, you just touched upon something. I'll feel a lot better about all of this
if Skubal signed.
When I hear Skubal sign.
Yeah.
Now after that, all of this other stuff. Now I can. That's the thing that's bothering me. Like, okay, Bregman and all that's fine and well, and Walker, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
When are we going to sign our own?
It is going to be a storyline, and I know people don't like it. A lot of people at this station don't like talking about it, but it's real. You know, you got to sign your ace. Now, let's deal with the Bregman thing on its surface. Red Sox, conflicting reports. There could be a divide in that organization. Do I think Boston's the best place for Alex Bregman? Yes. Why? His hit profile and the Green Monster. I think he could be 3,100 there. It's a different team with different needs, a different ballpark. But if they don't want him, I'm not convinced the Yankees do. I have pretty good idea the Yankees are all in for Kyle Tucker. It would be very hard to go do both of those things. There's no one else out there. Doesn't sound like the Astros are going to re-sign him. They don't have the money.
Yeah.
$260 million payroll for the Astros. So it just, guys, it sounds like Bregman's there for the taking. Would you spend, how about this? Do you want your team to overpay. And Rico, you and I are big boys. We know when you go to free agency, you're overpaying.
Yes.
You don't make a regular habit of it.
Yeah.
But in this instance,
last year I think was the only year that things happened on the cheap because nobody under the big names got signed for the amount of money they wanted.
Yeah, and Boris, candidly, overplayed his hand.
Yeah.
That's not happening this offseason.
No, it's not. You're going to pay a little bit more, but here's the thing about when you do that, Mike, just like in any sport, it looks like you're overpaying until next year when all of a sudden that deal that you were like, oh, my God, we got him cheap.
And look, I think Bregman, if you like WAR, I think he's a 5-WAR player next year, okay? This is a guy who heavily contributes to winning. He does the little things, professional ABs. It's just a guy that, to me, helps you win and stabilizes you. And it's a really valuable player to have in your lineup. I would be on board with it. Am I yelling? No. Am I demanding it? No. I'm telling you I would not be against it, and I don't understand why people want to slander Alex Bregman. So let me open the phone lines, 248-539-9797. The story goes, you really want Bregman. The market might not be as great as he wants. Do you want your team to do this? I do. I think it would be another step towards, winning your first division title in, 12 years or 10 years. They haven't won the pennant in 12. But if you're viewing it that Alex Bregman's going to come here and be Juan Soto, you're never going to be happy. That's not what he is.
No, but you had an opportunity last year to go out and solidify third. You decided not to. You passed, and here's your chance. You don't have to do the Frankenstein. You have a position that's done. And for me, I still think that with the pitching coach, the way that you can reclaim pitchers, that's why I would go and get a Walker Buehler.
Oh, you mean like last year when Matt Chapman was a 7-WAR player?
And right. You missed out on that.
And a 125 OPS plus.
But you know what? We're going to look forward.
I know that.
And guess what? Hey, there's somebody right here. Let's go ahead and catch this bus. Walker Buehler is the guy for me.
I would love Walker
Let
Buehler.
Fetter do his magic. I like to call he's the mechanic. Going to send him to Walker. You're going to the garage. He's going to fix you. And even if that means you just have 1 year of him, I'm okay with that because that means that you have a 1-2 punch and it's not one chaos, one.
Yeah,
chaos.
Or question mark chaos. Yeah. Look, Reese Olson's got to stay healthy.
Yes.
You don't hear anything about Mize. That scares me. Job is not going to – he's going to be on an innings cap. So I'm with you. 248-539-9797. Straight up, the Tigers are one of the 4 teams that are into Bregman. How bad do you want him to push this across the finish line? And if you don't, let's hear reasons.